Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekly Scopes from the 10th to the 16th of March 2024. Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's weekly Scopes. If you've heard this before, you can skip, but this is just the intro on how I formulate these astrology weekly readings. I use astrology and my intuition to give you advice how you can practically use the knowledge of the stars and the planets and apply them to your life. So my weekly Scopes are all based on GMT time and on Vedic constellational astrology. So now I'm just going to explain what Vedic constellation astrology is and how it differs from Western astrology. So the precession of the equinox is sort of like something that happens in astronomy and astrology, where the Earth's axis undergoes a slow circular motion over 26,000 years, and basically this means that this motion causes a shift in the position of the equinoxes and also the calculation Vedic and Western astrologies use. So around 2,000 years ago, the tropical and sidereal Vedic astrology signs of astrology were aligned in the same position. So if the sun was in Scorpio in Vedic astrology, it was also in the constellation of Scorpio in Western astrology. But because of the precession of the equinoxes, this has caused a gradual westward sort of like drift of the tropical Western signs. So basically these signs, the Western signs, shift 1 degree with every 72 years. So as a result of this ongoing shift, when Western astrology says the sun is in the constellation of Pisces, it's typically in the constellation of Aquarius. Still, this is because the degree, orb and the date for Western and Vedic astrology are 24 degrees, 24 days apart. So in Western astrology, the sun enters the constellation of Pisces around the 19th of February each year, but actually the sun doesn't arrive into the constellation of Pisces until the 13th to the 15th of March each year, and Vedic astrology takes this into account because it's based on the fixed star positions, and Vedic astrologers use sidereal calculations. So as a result, Vedic astrology takes into account the actual positions of the constellations in the sky at any given time, and also considers the precession of the equinox, adjusting for the shift in the position of the equinoxes over time. But in terms of Western astrology follows the tropical zodiac, which is based on the seasons rather than fixed star positions. Western astrologers also do not directly account for the precession of the equinox in their calculations as well, so this results in slightly different calculations and interpretations that are given whether we're using Western astrology or Vedic astrology. So yeah, as I said, Western astrology uses specific dates, so every year, regardless of where the sun actually is at the sky, the sun moves into Pisces around the 19th of February. So yeah, this discrepancy, this misalignment between the tropical zodiac and the actual positions of the constellations has led to a discrepancy between Vedic astrology and Western astrology. So I consider the actual where the sun and the moon are and where Mars and Venus are at any given time, and this is how I formulate these sort of like weekly scopes. So yeah, thanks for listening to this, and let's dive into this week's weekly scope. So yeah, on the 10th of March, the moon void of course starts at 9:01. Then there's a super new moon in the constellation of Aquarius that happens at 9:01. And then the moon enters Pisces at 3:10 in the afternoon, and Mercury makes a set star with Pluto today as well. So there's if you want to know more about the new moon in general, there's a separate audio, and if you want to know about this specific super new moon in Aquarius and know what to do while this is happening over the next few weeks, then check out the separate audio that I've made in the playlist, or the link for it as well. So when the moon enters void, of course, this is a time when some astrologers say to put important things off, but it can bring a sense of uncertainty. It may not be the best time to start new projects, but it's a good time to take time out for yourself. So yeah, when the moon enters Pisces later on in the day after the moon goes in, starts its new moon phase, this energy increases our intuition, can make us more emotionally sensitive, so counteracting the energy of the super new moon in Aquarius. Pisces brings us that sort of like power just to be more compassionate with ourselves and others. It can increase our intuition, and it's just great for creative expression. The moon in Pisces reminds us the importance of setting new boundaries and practicing self-care, and starting new things during this new moon period, or at least planning to start these new things as well, giving ourselves that permission to slow down and honour our boundaries as well. This energy of Pisces is good for meditating, taking time out and just engaging in stillness and other activities that bring you peace and a sense of calm as well. Also great for journaling as well, exploring your emotions and connecting with your inner world. So as I said, Mercury makes a sextile to Pluto today. It helps us to be more deeper, analytical and sharper in our communication and thinking, so it counteracts the negatives of Pisces energy, what's ruled by Neptune, that makes us escape and want to numb ourselves and hide from ourselves. It allows us to face hidden truths and engage in intense discussions more easier. It helps us to research and problem solve and is great for all types of detective work. It reminds us that our words carry power and persuasion during this time, so it's good for all sales and marketing, but we have to watch out for people manipulating and deceiving us, so it's good to check facts and just watch out of the things that you're hearing and checking facts, and also try not to deceive others as well, because this can backfire. Pluto energy can lead to us overthinking, especially when it sets down with Mercury. We can become excessive in our thoughts and just think too deeply about things, and it's good for us to think deeply, but we just have to watch out for being suspicious and paranoid. So again, just be gentle with yourself. If someone's acting suspiciously, you think someone's lying to you, gather your facts. Maybe not go and try and reveal it right now. Just try and just, as I said, gather your facts. Watch out for manipulative and controlling behaviour. Get help if need be. Reach out for someone for help, or organisations if you feel trapped or anything like that. Words can have a stronger impact on our own thoughts on us at this time as well, so we just need to watch out for that. But ultimately, the best use of Mercury sextile Pluto is to use the intense mental energy to tap into your own inner power and to just explore the depths of your own psyche, and just research projects and topics that can help you with your personal healing right now, especially healing when it comes to the way you communicate, whether you've got fear of expressing yourself, and just allow yourself to have transformative conversations, deepen your connections with yourself and others with honest and open communication. Being open to being honest with yourself and bringing change both within yourself and in your relationships. Spiritually, it wants us to sort of like get in touch with and explore the hidden realms of our consciousness, and be open to maybe working with the trauma and pain that we need to resolve, and understand the mysteries of ourselves and our life, and just being open to being more curious and analytical in our thinking, and not being afraid of our hidden truths. And so yeah, I guess at some level, because this energy brings the hidden to the surface, it can be overwhelming, but it's important to balance this with self-awareness, understanding, love and care and forgiveness as well. And because the intensity of Mercury sextile to Pluto can lead to overemphasis on power dynamics or control relationships, we have to just be extra careful not to use manipulative tactics or engage in power struggles. So walking away, of course, don't people please, don't let people overstep your boundaries, but just pick your battles wisely right now, and just sort of like be gentle with yourself, because this energy can bring an excessive focus on the darker aspects of yourself and others, and it can be hard sometimes not to get consumed by the negativity, but we have to also not run away from it and be open to it as well. Being open to facing home truths about ourselves can really set us free. On the 11th of March, there's nothing to report. on the 12th of March. It is a new moon week, but yeah, on the 12th of March, the moon's north node goes stationary direct. The moon enters void, of course, and the moon also enters Aries as well. So the best use of the moon in Aries is to tap into our inner drive and be determined, but balance it with patience and thoughtfulness, thinking about actions before doing them, because rushing into decisions without considering the consequences can have negative drawbacks. Also, just watch out for being impatient and impulsive while the moon's in Aries, and just take the chance to be more independent and assertive, while also, respecting other people's boundaries as well. On the 13th of March, the moon enters crescent moon phase. So this supports new beginnings. It gives us that confidence and optimistic boost, and can empower us to take bold steps towards our goals. Negatively, we can be impatient and impulsive, and with the moon in Aries right now, this is doubly wanting us to be cautious. So we got to make sure we channel this fiery energy into a productive, because the new moon and crescent moon phase is represented by Aries in astrology, and then it goes into Taurus energy, then Gemini energy, as we get more deeper into the moon cycles. So this energy is great to become more motivated and be more creative and set intentions, and to just practice being patient and mindful, being a bit meditative, because we can be impulsive and say things before thinking about the consequences, as I said, and this can cause tension in our relationships, which we want to avoid. So yeah, on the 14th of March, the sun enters Pisces, the moon void of course starts, and the moon also enters Taurus as well. So the sun in Pisces allows us to be more intuitive and compassionate over the next month, while the sun's in the constellation of Pisces. We can become more empathetic and understanding towards ourselves and others. We can be more artistic and creative. We may find ourselves, daydreaming more or escaping on the negative, as we find it hard to deal with our own emotional sensitivity in others at this time. So it's important to not run into your addictions, whether this be drugs, alcohol, any other intoxicating substances, and relationships as well. And I know this is hard to not do, but the best use of the sun in Pisces is to face reality, get the help that you need. If you want to know more about the do's and don'ts and how the sun in Pisces can be used for your own emotional, psychological and spiritual healing, check out the separate audio where I delve deep into all the different angles of the sun transiting in Pisces. As I said, the moon also enters Taurus today, so this brings more stability to our inner world and can just help us be more practical and patient. But negatively, we can be stubborn and resistant to change right now. But on the practical level, it allows us to keep a calm and steady attitude if we are prepared to have more patience as well. And we just have to try and be open to change, because not doing so can get in the way of our personal growth. So today we have to try and remain open-minded and flexible, and be more nurturing with ourselves and others in healthy ways, respecting each other's boundaries and enforcing your own boundaries, not letting people manipulate you and cross your lines, and try and avoid getting lost in intoxicating substances and people, and try and build up the courage to face anything that you're running away from at this time. And as I said, I know it can be hard, but doing things, creative things such as painting, writing, dancing, gaming, listening to music, creating music can help you heal and work through your emotional feelings and psychological pain right now. And journaling can help you gain deeper insights into yourself and others at this time, and just thinking things out. On the 15th of March, Mars enters Aquarius. So when Mars enters Aquarius, it can make us more innovative in our problem solving and thinking outside of the box, and more creative, and just forward in our thinking and the way we go about doing our day-to-day tasks. When Mars is in Aquarius, we can be more independent and more confident and stand up for what we believe in. Mars in Aquarius is a good energy to, to fight for social justice and be more charitable and get involved in humanitarian projects and causes. It's a good time to get involved in community organisations or activist groups and make a positive impact on society or even just your own family or community right now. This energy can make it easier for us to connect with people who have similar interests to us. Negatively, it can make us more restless and impatient. We may constantly feel the urge to seek new experiences and get bored easier, so we can find it hard to stick to one task for too long, and this can cause problems in our careers and work and stuff. So just try and stay focused and take accountability for meeting your sort of responsibilities right now. Negatively, it can also make us rebel and cause conflict with authority figures and going against traditional norms, which is kind of good because this is what this energy of Mars in Aquarius wants us to break outside of conforming. But just make sure that we use our self-awareness and choose our battles wisely at this time, because we can just be reckless and this can cause us a lot of problems that we don't really need. So pick your battles, use your time wisely. Also, Mars in Aquarius can make us emotionally detached, and this can cause problems in our intimate relationships. The best use of this energy is to sort of like get in touch with your inner individuality, stand up for what you believe in, get involved in projects with like-minded people, and do all you can to bring about change in your own life or other people's life. And just keep in mind, while it's essential to challenge tradition and the status quo and question authority, it is a good idea and beneficial to do so with respect and an open mind. So yeah, when Mars is in Aquarius, it's good to engage in healthy debates and discussions, but avoid unnecessary conflicts and clashes. And if you want to know more about what to do, I've created, you guessed it, an in-depth analysis of all the different angles of Mars in Aquarius. So check out the separate audio I've done for that. On the 16th of March, the moon enters void, of course, and the moon enters Gemini. So the moon in Gemini can stimulate interesting conversation, but negatively we can be more superficial, gossip and lie about others and be indecisive and restless. We can be scattered in our focus, and this can make it harder for us to commit to certain decisions or projects, and we can get in trouble because we can let people down, become less productive in our career. So just watch out for that as well. And to make the best use of this energy, be intellectually curious, but also limit the things that you are curious about. Engage in discussions and network, but it's crucial to be mindful of scattering your energy, as this can lead you to be restless and indecisive and just waste it sort of like energy. So just focus on information gathering, learning and maintaining a sense of flexibility, and to embrace the social aspect of the moon in Gemini, but to also keep a balanced approach to decision making and the things we say and do at this time, because again we don't want to add to the conflicts in relationships. So yeah, that's the end of this analysis and weekly scopes from the 10th to the 16th of March 2024.